Good morning, guys. How's it going? Make sure my mic is working properly here. Okay. What's up, Noah? Doing pretty good. Coma? Just double checking my mic settings. Okay, my mic's working fine. CPI data is out. Yeah, let's take a look. Okay, this came out pretty much as expected over the year over year. Cool. Stability is nice. Today is Tuesday. We have PPI and core PPI on Thursday. Okay. Good morning, Brett. Oh yeah. Costine, Cosmos, Jo, what's up? Party on. All right, so Bitcoin has done nothing since we last looked at it. Yesterday we were talking about the possibility of us losing momentum down here and breaking, getting us a change character occurrence. I did draw this as a key level. I'm watching it for a while. It's just a matter of waiting for it to break, giving us confirmation. Either hopefully I'll break a structure just prior, like a pullback just prior before breaking, so we get that better R&R, or one just after. But yeah, it's just a waiting game to see if we're validating support off this point of control here. We've got acceptance inside of this valley area, so there's a good chance we could also get that rotation down to the valley area low at 117. But if we get the short, well, I wouldn't short that honestly, but if we do get that rotation down there, then we could potentially wait for the long opportunity down here. But yeah, we could get that return up here instead first. So I'm waiting for structure to define a potential entry, hopefully above here. Or if we are coming down, because it looks like this candle's getting its butt kicked right now, a SFP off of this low to front run that potential break. Let's see, we got, mark this wick. There you go. Yeah, so just a waiting game. Good morning. What's up on YouTube? Slade first style. Cool. All right, guys. But yeah, still the same thing that we spoke about yesterday. Just waiting on that potential break. Maybe a retest after mitigation of this little supply zone here. And then we got to watch this key area. But ultimately, we're going to be targeting up there. But I'll listen to any reactional exit, right? If we get that break of momentum prior to hitting our primary target, let's say it's here, and we get that opposing change of character, I'll just listen to the market, at least take some off the table from that point. Let's see, here we go. Could get the SFP, sweeping this low, take that, or we could get the break basically to the downside and potentially find support off of this value area low of the value area that we're within. Testing this previous value area high, maybe dipping down and testing the order block and the little demand zone that we have here as well. We'll see what happens. But if we break to the upside, the play is pretty simple. If we break to the downside and we don't get the SFP, then it's a waiting game because I wouldn't short that. The R&R gap, I doubt would be worth it unless we get very specific structure. It's usually not going to be worth it. Good morning, Sterling. Noah, good morning again. When able, TA on TLRY, same as Chainlink. You close position right before a 60% move. What should I have foreseen on the chart? Okay, let's see what happens. We'll go to, we do Chainlink first, for example, because like I already know Chainlink. Oh, we didn't get the break to the downside. We just broke to the upside. Interesting. But with Chainlink, it's a little bit easier to explain. I'll take a look and see what TLRY is like. But when we jumped in the long here, we were aware of the macro and what it could turn into, right? When you zoom out on like your short-term scalp position, whether it be at like a bottom of like a macro key level like this, or it being in a continuation, you got to visualize what could happen next, right? We had the pullback here to retest this previous structural neckline here, and internally we had a double bottom posture that gave us a measurable target into the valley area. But once you get inside of a valley area, you can then assume that we can get that full rotation to a valley area high. So it's about understanding when you can extend your target. You should always have an initial grounded, like basic target, but you should know when the opportunity might lie where your target could extend it. So, for example, acceptance to a valley area can extend your target to a valley area high. Breaking above a valley area, and maybe getting a larger time frame break of structure could give you a larger measurable target. Getting acceptance into this valley area, for example, which we're about to get on Chainlink, it's about to give us a target extension to this valley area high when we get acceptance within it, right? So understanding valley area data is going to help you understand when to extend your targets or when to prepare for opposing resistances. Understanding formations and the momentum that they provide helps you with getting your first initial measurable base target. Sometimes you'll have a double bottom here, like we did here, and that could lead us into the confirmation of a larger one to help you extend your target from there. Because after we had this higher high, we essentially were able to extend our target to this measurable target here, like $29. But we have to be aware of the barriers, right? The 21.35 is one that we're trying to test right now as support. And then we have 23.98, which is going to be a point of control along the way. And then we have our value area high, which is going to be like the slight little front run to the measurable target for the double bottom. That's kind of how you understand like target extensions. It's just I use value area data. I'm sure there are other tools out there that help you identify that. Maybe it is like you could be a range trader, but have trend-based rules, right? So if your trend-based rules are met, let's say after catching a low of a range, and the trend-based rules are met, say at the top of the range, it might help you hold your trade longer too. And then the exit criteria for the trend-based rules will kick in. But yeah, if we get this close on Chainlink right now, let's say above these wicks, the full body, then we would have just confirmed acceptance into this value area on the 4-hour chart. And then we have a target extension to that previous point of control, which we should mark now, honestly, right here. Pretty cool. So then we watch, see if we hit our head around here. If Bitcoin confirms this double bottom, then Chainlink is definitely gonna get that rotation too. Oh, I just had alarm go off. Sec here. Okay. Now we're good. You want TA on the stock TLRY. TLRY, Tilray Brands. What is this earnings report? It's negative. Yeah. Earnings downtrending hard. Estimating earnings to be down again, but still managing to try to climb above that 200 EMA. Okay, let's pull a fixed here until we saw it act as resistance. We have this macro momentum here. We have the supply concern here from the retest of this value area. And not much more than that. So yeah, the earnings reports are consecutively negative and they are trending hard to the downside. So like long term, this is not looking good. It's at it has declined since its creation on this chart, at least. So far, a total 99%. I don't know anything about this stock, but it looks like it's a related to cannabis. But yeah, I'll be looking for potential rejection around 116 at the start of the supply concern here, maybe to 140 and hit that daily order block. But yeah, I'll be looking for a short opportunity, not a long. We're coming up to the confluence of this macro downtrending momentum, so we might climb our way up to this supply zone and hit our head off. Depending on how we behave up here, it might be something like this before coming down, retesting that point of interest. But yeah, overall, it's not looking too good. A great recovery so far. But I think in macro picture, I'd prepare for a correction again. Unless we manage to get acceptance into this value area, then we can start a potential. Maybe the momentum will start going bullish from there. But yeah, for now, if we get acceptance to here, you get a rotation to the value high again, then awesome. At that point, we'd be breaking the downtrend momentum, and we might start an uptrend from there. But for now, I'll be prepared for the bearish case scenario. And based on the momentum, we could get that bearish break sooner rather than later, but we'll see. Okay, that is TRLY. I hope that helps you out, man. Hopefully you're not caught in a long-term buy on this thing. TA on Floki. Yeah, let's take a look at Floki. Okay, so Floki looks like it's maintaining the uptrending momentum. I remember I was talking about this yesterday. We're looking for a double bottom reaction off of this momentum and confluence with the 50-day EMA and confluence with demand zone. We're breaking right now as we speak. So that's playing out exactly how we kind of predicted. Just got the change of character about to confirm on the hourly. Let's go to the 15-minute. Yeah, the 15-minute confirmed. That's bullish. And the hourly is close to confirming as bullish. Can grab this horizon. There we go. Now it's a matter of waiting for structure for a better stop loss guard. Everything has been met in terms of bullish conditioning rules. It's just, do you like your stop loss guard relative to your target with the way things are right now? Would you rather wait for a potential pullback so you can use that as a better stop loss guard once you hit the higher high? Just this is looking, in terms of R&R, it's not very safe. You'll be targeting like this high for like a 1 to 2, but you'd have a few barrier concerns along the way up. We have the supply concern here. Right here. And you got one right in our face. You can pull a fib. They go in pockets in line with that supply concern. Just look like we're bouncing off a fib level as well. ER 786. Yeah, so it's flip bullish. It's just a matter of waiting for a better stop loss guard. That's all. And if you want to wait for the hourly to flip bullish, it could happen very soon. We got about 7 minutes left. Preferably with the candle close above this wick. So there's two things you can be hopeful for. A pullback here, maybe a test to the VWAP, then a higher high. So then you can evolve your stop loss to like a 1 to 5 instead of like a 1 to 2. Or you can wait for this could happen as well, where we come up, hit our head off the supply, mitigate some of it, pull back, test, higher high. And even though you'll be getting in at a higher price off of that confirmation, you would have a much better R&R still to like the same target. Roughly like a 1 to 3, depending on like obviously how high things are when they close and all that stuff. But yeah, there's two plans on how you can play this, but it's definitely already flipped bullish. We have lots of confluences already on Floki, so now I'll leave this long position tool out. But this is kind of like what you'll be targeting these highs up here. There. All right, that's Floki. That looks good, honestly. Bitcoin's looking the same. What is that 15-minute order block indicator that I use? It is not just a 15-minute, it's like a multi-time frame order block creator. So it'll look at multiple time frames to save you a bunch of time. This one's done by 11x. is the MTF OBIM. It's a paid indicator. It costs about $800, but you'll be getting you get a stack of indicators, not just this one. The one I really like is the order block one's really nice. I also really like to use the market structural indicator here. It draws you internal and external market structure and does it correctly. Like a lot of platforms that make these market structure indicators usually don't do it correctly. They'll have false changes of character, false breaks of structure and stuff. But if you find a free one, then go for it. Just make sure you understand like the accuracy of the indicator. That's all. Kyle, I'm wondering if there are how many trades you do not take publicly. Are you able to pick something in this kind of waiting environment? There are trades that I don't share publicly, but normally there are trades that I'm testing on different strategies, so I can then teach it to you guys later. I'll sometimes take SFPs that I won't like post publicly because some SFPs are just really hard to communicate while you're also trying to enter simultaneously. But there isn't very many trades that I take without you guys. It's super rare. Unless it's through testing. I take a lot of testing trades. I've probably taken about 8 testing trades this week already. Okay, let's catch up. So we got request for E&A. I got about a half an hour left, guys, before I gotta do a community call. I'm gonna set an alarm though for a candle close above here, so we're not missing anything. So ENA, go on Binance. Okay. All right, let's get rid of some noise. All right, with ENA, we were talking about the macro picture. All right, breaking this downtrending momentum, getting the like inverse head and shoulders posture internally to a large double bottom. So we broke that, got to our measurable target. We're breaking this. We are already at the measurable target up here. We're just meeting it now. We're almost there. And we had our continuation break of structure. We've been maintaining this momentum. I can delete some of this noise. We delete this. We don't need this anymore. So we swept this high with this candle already. We could come up and get a local SFP off this high, so we got to watch out for that bearish type of reaction. You get an early time frame warning before that would occur. But we mitigate this whole supply risk. Just grabbing all this data here. Got our valley area here. We used as support. You mitigate this whole demand zone here after just one bounce off of it. We grab liquidity from below it and tested our previous value area high simultaneously. We broke down trending momentum. We have a new fixed range that we can pull from here to here. So how we can dissect the potential of that macro daily SFP with this, well, I don't know why I'm pointing that far out. Right here is it's like that graveyard candle that we saw on the daily, right? And then we're starting to come up to potentially fail at this valley area high and induce a range. So if we do get like a double top or change character at this high, just like we did here, then how that's going to reflect on the higher time frames is going to likely confirm as a daily local SFP sweeping that high, right? So we'll see what happens, but the lower time frames will give us the answer first. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's the bearish case scenario. With Bitcoin looking kind of bullish, I'm thinking that we're actually more likely to go up. But the short play, if it does occur, if Bitcoin doesn't go up, then it'd be pretty easy to trade. Because if we're going into a fair value gap, pretty decent one. So if we have that opposing change of character, we're getting a bit of a potential pullback now. But if we get that opposing change of character, then we can start targeting the valley area low and expect for it to be a quick drop. Just as we came up, it'll likely come down quickly too. That's ENA. Let's see if that occurs, but that's basically what I'll be looking for based on our current structure. But Bitcoin pumps, then that's going to invalidate pretty quick. Happy Taco Tuesday. If you turn on extended hours, you'll see the move I missed. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Can we analyze the USDT? Yeah, we can do that. All right, let me catch up here. So we got SUI request for Jordan. Search up SUI. I think we have a SUI chart. We do. Okay. Looked at it yesterday. All right, SUI's doing kind of what we hoped. But yeah, I wasn't certain on SUI yesterday, so yeah, it's doing what we hoped, where we kind of want to see it use this neckline as support. So we can get acceptance back inside this valley area again, and then try to get the full rotation to the valley area high. Last time we failed against the point of control, right? We built this like awkward regression trend, start forming like a rounded top on the lower time frames. Right now we're on the 4-hour time frame. And then we broke this neckline and came down, hit the measurable target for this double top posture. All right. Came down, test the neckline, hit that target. And now we're trying to return back up. Go to lower time frames, 90-minute. Let's go to the 15. The 15-minute flip bullish the moment we broke this key level here. So now it's the same kind of concept for Bitcoin, right? We want to have that like potential pullback to retest so we get a better stop loss guard. It is showing us that SUI's got relative strength against Bitcoin, right? So there's a sign here from the price action that Bitcoin dominance could be going down because based on the relative positioning of SUI being above the neckline and Bitcoin being below the neckline. So we can verify that really quick. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance going down right now. So it's showing us like where's the money, where's most of the attention right now with the money, like the flow of funds. The flow of funds is currently going towards mostly altcoins. Someone requested to do USDT dominance TA. And same kind of concept, showing us that funds are coming out of Bitcoin and out of USDT and mostly into alts right now. Yeah, right. The macro for USDT is looking, it's caught in this consolidation. So with the others dominance, USDT dominance, and Bitcoin dominance, it's about finding key areas where you expect the attention to then rotate to another asset. So, for example, it's suggesting that maybe we can see with this momentum, if we hold above this high, like hold above around this point of control, and we break this neckline, then we could have the flow of funds start going into USDT again. If we instead come down to these lows, which is kind of what I'll be hoping for, it's coming back down to like 3.82%. Around here, we can anticipate the potential reversal. And honestly, like that would align with likely a short-term like bear market condition, like not like the bear market, but if we came down here and had this break, it could be the start of at least a bear trend on Bitcoin and even alts, all in conflict with each other. So this is like the daily chart, so it could take some time for this to play out. But this is what I'd be looking for, and that's when all of my rules would be met for when I enter longs, right? So being at the value area low or below, break of momentum, change of character, target the opposite side of the value area. Okay. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Switch to the 15. Give us one more red candle. I know how responsible you are about posting signals because you wait for high possibility setups. Those been recently when you kind of more risky ones. Like, yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Sorry, I share my chart with someone. Price action support and resistance, does it work on it? Yeah, it does. Yeah. So it's the same way you would look for supply and demand zones on a chart. You're kind of visualizing it as like areas where like based on the conditioning of the price action, it usually aligns with the conditioning of the dominance charts. It feels a little bit like magic, but the correlation, it all makes sense. So if you see, for example, like Bitcoin going on a huge run to the upside, and the Bitcoin dominance is doing kind of like the same thing, and you see like the dominance chart getting into like a supply concern, like here, it will normally align with Bitcoin's price action meeting an area of concern as well, like a high where liquidity could be resting for exit liquidity, and stuff like that. Because the charts, they all talk to each other, so it definitely does help. Because you could make it a rule for yourself saying like, I will not enter like a short on Bitcoin unless Bitcoin dominance is also weak. You could do the same thing with altcoins. I will not enter a long on an altcoin unless altcoin dominance is like strong, like others dominance, for example, or Bitcoin dominance is weak. Just give you that extra probability of being right. So it definitely works on it. So I highly recommend it. And you can do the same thing with the DXY when you're seeing weakness in the US dollar. You usually have the inverse correlation to Bitcoin's price action. Constantine, let's look at hype. We can do that. See how hype's doing. Last time I looked at was the 8th. What are we looking at? Okay, so we were expecting a potential change of character occurrence here. We never got it. However, if we did get it, the confluence would have been pretty incredible for a short. But we never got it. We held this level as support. Instead, we ended up getting evolving momentum and maintaining it. Well, I wouldn't consider that evolving momentum. It's this here that's evolving momentum that ended up breaking. But yeah, we had the this diamond posture, which normally induces reversals. We had like the head and shoulders internally within it, which normally induces reversals. But we ended up getting the break to the upside. Once we got this higher high, we got that break of structure on the higher time frames. And we continued up and ended up breaking our downtrend momentum. It looks like we got acceptance to this previous valley area. And this awkwardly like stacking valley area event here. End up hitting this previous high as well as point of control. And they started coming back down to its valley area low. We just get that break. So we're flipping bullish on the hourly again. Testing into the supply. After this little supply is done, we should be able to get to that high again very easily. Hype's definitely got some relative strength against Bitcoin. Because like we said before, the Bitcoin dominance is kind of shifting. So alts are getting a little bit more attention. They're breaking their key levels first. This one's testing its key level right now. Bitcoin is pulling back below it. Yeah, we mitigated most of this concern. Let's leave what's left. What's left is about here. If we get that higher high, let's say this candle closes red. So we have that proper 2-candle pullback on the 15-minute. And then we get the higher high. We'd have a proper break of structure. And then we could use this as our low for our stop loss guard. If we get that higher high, and we target these highs here. In hopes for a continuation, of course, but one little boss at a time. Always manage your risk relative to the local barriers. Don't manage your risk based on getting the swing, because you can't have the swing unless this breaks. Right? So we can turn this trade that's a scalp potentially into a swing trade if we get above this value area high and we use it as support. So this will be barrier number 1 at like 46.75. Barrier number 2, I'll be mainly concerned about this area here. So if we were to tie as much confluence as we can, be like this here. So we get the, and this will apply concern from here, the high from this location here that could induce reversal from exit-based liquidity that could be resting here, and the value area high. So we might get that target extension from here to here. I hope that helps you out. But it's looking good. The last double bottom that we looked at was this one here. We had this massive run up. I'm not saying that this is going to do that, but we might get that continuation up to here at least at 48, 44. Real talk trading. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man? Did you change your logo? I'm trying to see it. It's tough to see. sec here. What's the next request we got? Cardano. See, we've got a Cardano chart. So let's pull that up. We got, last time we looked at was yesterday. Looks like we're getting that double bottom impact that we were hoping for as well, right? Even better. Now, we didn't get the S&P that we're looking at the potential for, but I was more hopeful for the double bottom. So we can retest that momentum once more. We got that break. We're getting acceptance to the value area. So it's almost a picture perfect Kyle setup. Got a posting change of character while also simultaneously trying to get acceptance into the value area. This is the hourly. Let's rotate to the 15. We got a proper pullback. So if we get that higher high, you'd then have 15-minute acceptance into the value area while in confluence testing this double bottom as support. So I will be targeting the value area high once this confirms. And we need to get to at least this high here to get the R&R though. So let's use the previous value area data as our target. So we have this previous value area data that we're kind of like overlapping right now, ranging within. We'll target that level as our key level. 82,476 once we get that confirmation. It's looking good. Yeah, Cardano's looking exactly the way we wanted it to look. Let's see. Isn't this CPI bearish? Let's take a look for a second here. Core CPI. Month over month, yeah, 0.2. Core CPI 0.3. It's basically just stating that inflation still is remaining strong, basically. But yeah, it's bearish for the fiat holders for sure. For any crypto holders, you're fine as long as you're not picking an asset that's not insanely inflationary. But yeah, it's still bearish. Is this the real Kyle More? Yes, it is. The one and only. Yeah, we looked at a lot, guys. We looked at Sui's confirming. We got Hype testing its level right now to potentially confirm. We've got Cardano doing the same. How's oh, I just got an alert going in my ears there. Dot, we're doing a double bottom, I think above the level that we expected. So we're kind of getting that same posture, but we get the change of character a little later on Dot. Nice to see Dot getting relative strength for once. Ethereum relative strength all around. We never got that pullback that we wanted to have happen. It's just been running up. If we look at ETH, please. Okay, let's look a lot more thoroughly. So like Ethereum broke a massive key level recently when we got above like that $4,000 psychological level that everyone on the planet seemed to agree to being the sell point for Ethereum for the past a few years. Basically, yeah, we got above that key level, and I was hoping for a retest when we had that lower time frame, like we bearish kind of posture, but it never actually came down and confirmed it. Instead, we got that break of structure continuation. But yeah, now that we have this continuation still running up, I have this key level here at 4,643, but the all-time high is only about $200 above that. So once we get to here, 100% of people are in a profit. So I'll prepare for an initial bearish reaction. Usually is what occurs when we test an all-time high. So we get that aggressive bearish reaction. Some people de-risk when we get to all-time highs. A large amount of like whales usually de-risk at all-time highs. They take some off the table. Um, but yeah, that's what I'll be preparing for. It's that bearish reaction around here initially, but overall, like that's bullish, breaking that all-time high. It could induce eventually a strong continuation up. I have like my target for this cycle for Ethereum is around like 7K, but it could definitely go beyond that. You can pull this momentum here. There we go. Get rid of some of this noise. We'll leave that there just in case. But when we're this high, you can't really enter the longs unless all your rules are met, of course. You can get something on the like pullbacks potentially, but it's a waiting game. Hey Cal, thanks for the thanks for the analysis, bro. Take a look at TRX. Do you expect it can price go back down to 27 cents? I could find out for you. You think it's bearish or risk on assets? It would be a negative effect on the rate cuts to potentially come in September. Yeah, I could see like if the rate cuts start coming in, a bearish impact over like crypto from something like that because that normally strengthens the US dollar. But for now, I still think that we have signs, like evidence that the US dollar is more likely to weaken than strengthen. So the inverse correlation impact that would have over Bitcoin, I think that right now things are still bullish for crypto versus fiat. But if they do rate cuts in September, I think my opinion, it'll be too early because all this tariff acts, it's messing up with the regular data that we normally take that analysis with. So I think they need to give it a few months of of the dust to settle after the tariffs before making any changes on something like that. But it's not up to me. Let's go to California. Please check out Floki. Yeah, we looked at Floki already. Let's see. Just checking out the requests here. Oh yeah, TRX. So let's take a look at TRX. Tron. Oh, I have a Tron chart. I just haven't done analysis on it in so long. June 19th. Last time I looked at it. And you want to go back down to 27 cents. It's a big ask. So we have that macro momentum, this evolving momentum. Man, Tron's been on a tear. It's that one that no one really talks about. Just like B&B. Like B&B is doing extremely well, but Tron's doing insanely well. Just keeps on going up. Since the confirmation, it's gone up, it exceeded its measurable target, and it's gone up 400%. It's wild. Now, last time we're looking at this potential key level to bring us back up to these highs, and we're still climbing our way up slowly. But yeah, we're getting to that area where gravity starts getting lighter. So we'll see if we get to 45 cents again. I'll be looking for a rejection around this high. That's all we really got. It's just our psychological levels, our order books, and this recent high. And like we could SFP off this high, but based on the body candles closing within it internally, we're reducing our chances of that occurring. So we could come up, sweep this, and close. But at that point, it'll be a short-term measurable target just to this local low. That's all I really got for you for Tron, man. I could zoom in the lower time frames and see if there's any like short-term identifiers that could cause and induce a reversal. Like coming down to try to answer your question, you're asking Tron to get a daily change of character, right? You're asking Tron for a daily change of character first to break past these local lows, to break past the 50-day EMA, and to break past the uptrending momentum in order for it to get to 27 cents. So there's a big ask. You have to have a chain reaction of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things before that's possible. So you can start targeting 27 cents when the first thing happens, and then you have to watch every barrier along the way to see if a reversal were to occur against you before that occurs, right? So if you're trying to sell Tron to reaccumulate, then you need to, have at least the daily change of character happen first to initiate that. I hope that helps you out. Remember to hit that like button. Thanks, man. You guys remember better than I do. I do got to head out though. I wish I could do everybody's TA, but I only missed a couple of you guys. But yeah, so we looked at Tron, we looked at Sui. Sui's going strong. We looked at Hype. We're waiting for that confirmation on Hype. Just need that higher high. We have that stop loss guard after the break of structure. Cardano is looking strong relative to Hype for the first time like ever in history. We just need to get that higher high, and then we'll have that confirmation on Cardano. Ethereum, there's not very much opportunity. If you're not already in on something, I would be looking to try to find an entry. DOT, it's got some relative weakness in the sense that it hasn't got the change of character yet, but we have that double bottom break. We just never tested that momentum. If we get that higher high, there is a supply concern right here, but we could eventually get that rotation to its valley area high. We're at $4.70. Chainlink is looking strong too. Trying to get acceptance into this valley area. We're just lacking this candle close in like 30 minutes. If we get that acceptance, then we can get that rotation to this previous valley area high up here at 2663, which is close to our measurable target that we were talking about for over a week now. And we just got to watch that point of control along the way. The structural concerns are in line with this valley area high. So once you get to this valley area high, you should be nervous for a potential retracement pretty much back to where we currently are. It's super close. Yeah, we got over a few other things, but yeah, we're just kind of waiting for that confirmation on the Bitcoin side. We're already seeing alts getting their runs, and some of them are already close to confirming. And we looked at Bitcoin dominance, and we can see that Bitcoin dominance is going down. So it makes sense for some of the altcoins to break out first prior to Bitcoin. Thanks for today's awesomeness. Thanks, man. Appreciate the tiff again. You guys have an amazing day. I gotta head to the next call. Yeah, but those are the assets. Just prepare. Let it align with your rules. Don't jump in just because I'm saying that's a good idea to jump in right now. But yeah, a lot of bullish confluence right now for a large amount of these altcoins that we looked at today. All right, guys, I gotta head out. Have a great day. I'll see the community and the trade hunting call, and hopefully we'll be entering a trade together in a moment. See you guys.